Sorry if we're having any audio troubles. We were not aware that our voices were not on the stream. So 0-0, 6:29 left in this first quarter. Again, a slow start. Ben Bedreau with it now.
And we talked about, in case you missed it, again, the keys to the game for Millard South to really take care of the boards and limit turnovers. They've had a couple turnovers to start this game. They need to clean those up.
Yeah, and kind of just the story of this season is take care of the basketball, but a great pass there from Austin Trotter and a phenomenal back cut from Noah Nordstrom. He's got the first points on the night for either team, 2-0. Need to see a lot more ball movement in this one from the Bunnies. You know, the girls team struggled with it. You know, just 2 minutes in, but they've struggled with it a little bit as well. But a great pass there down low. Misses the layup a little too strong. The presence of Lance Rucker really showing right there. He's the strongest player on the court, and seems like in almost every game. Noah Nordstrom knocks that one down. Three-pointer for Noah Nordstrom, a 5-0 lead for the Patriots.
That's exactly what you want if you're Millard South. They've had some slow starts throughout the season to get that early lead, especially against a team like Benson. It's massive.
Nordstrom off to a great start. Another mid-range pull-up and just not great shot selection to start this game. You know, if the Patriots can really take advantage of this, go on a run, a great pass. Austin Trotter fakes the three, driving inside. Another kick out. There's that lights-out shooter, Ben Bedreau. Misses that one strong. Austin Trotter, another rebound. Gets it over to Nordstrom. The quickness on display for Ben. Drives inside, but he's going to be fouled. You know, look, it was a clean block, but got him with the body. He'll go to the line for two. Patriots have a chance here. You know, they have a losing season. So does Benson. They're on a two-game losing streak. Going out to a 7-0 lead here to start this game is really a great way. I mean, if you want to get back on track, this is how you do it. 5:08 left. The Bunnies not on the board yet.
And Benson, just like Millard South, they're a team that struggles with turnovers. They really need to clean that up. They're averaging 15 so far per game in Class A. That's one of the highest, if not the highest, of any team. And really, again, they're a talented team. You'll see that all night tonight, but it's really just the intangibles that they really struggle with.
You know, it's been a slow start for kind of both teams scoring the basketball-wise. You know, the Patriots up 6-0, but, you know, both of these teams don't average a whole lot of points on the season. You know, we got Benson sitting at about 53 points per game and Millard South at 51. Trying to get something going on the offensive end. Nothing so far. Got to look to get number 22 involved. He's their leading scorer. Newsom averaging 12 so far this season. A good rebound there by the freshman Isaac. Now he's driving up the floor. Get over to Austin Trotter. Austin Trotter's been playing good so far, and a good post entry there to Lance. Double team, still trying to go up with it. Now swinging the basketball. There's Ben with it. Noah Nordstrom, 5 points on the night. Driving baseline all the way in, and he's got 7 to start this game. Not a great scorer for this team, but he's really putting Benson on their heels right now. I don't think they expected this with the scouting report.
Just a perfect start for Millard South, and that forced a Benson timeout. They're up 8-0 with 4 minutes left to go in the first.
Yeah, and an 8-0 lead to start this one. 4 minutes in, and, you know, they've been a team that has kind of struggled with slow starts and just never really able to recover. You know, they've lost to some pretty good teams and some pretty bad teams just off the alone of those bad starts. But an 8-0 run to start, and just getting a player like Noah Nordstrom involved, a player that, you know, is always out on the court but doesn't really score the basketball a whole ton. I mean, if he can get going along with those other guys, you know, they can really have a chance to put on a lot of points tonight. We haven't even seen Lance Rucker really get a solid touchdown low. I mean, that's a good job by the Bunnies. You know, they're limiting him from catching the ball, and when he does, they're bringing that double team right away. But, you know, that's going to lead to kick out shots for these shooters in Millard South. And, you know, they got 3 guys on the floor right now, Austin Trotter, Ben Bedreau, and Noah Nordstrom, who could really knock that three-point shot down. You know, we haven't seen much from Ben yet, but, again, when these Millard South players get going, you know, the Bunnies, they're going to have to start putting some points on the board, because this, you know, this team, you know, the record may shock you, but they're only losing their games by an average of 2.9 points per game. We've seen a lot of close matchups. There's only really been one team all season, and that was Bellevue West, that they really looked unmatched against. Just off to a great start here, and that's going to help them. A turnover there.
And, yeah, we talked about it. Benson, again, another just small error, but those are going to add up, especially early in the game. And Millard South's making a pay on the offensive end. You see a couple of these go through from Millard South that really, again, it just takes a couple to go through, and it heats up the entire team. And, again, Noah Nordstrom really been going early, hoping to get Lance Rucker going.
He's got a way smaller defender on him. But, they are kind of sitting in that zone right now. Trotter, a three-pointer. Misses that one a little short. Here come the bunnies. Misses that one. Looked like it might have been a tip there. And another bad possession for the Patriots, or for the bunnies, excuse me. Great pass. Trotter passes up the three. Now Bedreau with it, drive into the middle. Nordstrom, another three. Misses that one short. Had a chance to put up 10 points just alone in the first quarter, but still need to see Benson get on track in this offensive end. They haven't really showcased anything here. We've seen a few good takes, but just really no offense from them. And a good pass down low. It's going to be a charge drawn by Lance Rucker. And, you talked about this great. This is a perfect start for the Patriots, really firing on all cylinders, great on the defensive end. And, we haven't even really seen the full potential on the offense. We've really only seen Noah Nordstrom. He's checking out now, but we got Dom Rice, the crafty ball handler, checking into the game.
And, yeah, it can't be stated enough. Again, Benson a little bit sloppy, but Millard South's been playing tight defense on him so far. Or not letting them have anything inside, and that's where Benson wants to go. They have a bunch of tall guys, a couple of guys who are 6'5", lanky. You see them, and that's who they're trying to go to. Millard South's done a good job of closing out, not letting them have anything from three, and they've been, haven't found anything, and that's why the score is what it is.
See a turnover there from the Patriots. It's gonna be a foul, actually. Sorry, but almost was a turnover. A bad pass there from Bedreau. He's gonna check out. Nordstrom checks in with 7 on the night.
And again, if you missed it, again, Dom Rice is starting over Bernie Anderson today, who is out of this one. He's not even suited up, so you won't see him out there.
Three-pointer, knocks that one down, cutting this lead down to 5, and we finally see some offense from Benson. But for the Patriots, you haven't really allowed anything easy to start. That was a tough shot there. There's going to be some shots like that on the night. Goes off Dom's foot, but great job recovering by the Patriots. Dom saves it. They gave up the turnover there, but great job to hustle back. Here's Dom with it, picking up a foul. Oh, sorry, it's going to be a timeout, not a foul. So the Patriots lead 8-3. What are you seeing so far for both teams, Wilson?
Again, just physical on defense for both teams. Millard South playing really tight defense, not letting Benson have anything. And Benson's a team where you get in their head a little bit. Again, similar to their girls team, they turn the ball over a lot. If you can get in their head, especially going into the second quarter, it just takes a strong offensive drive and run to really get this lead to insurmountable levels.
Yeah, 5-point lead for the Patriots. We expected a low-scoring affair, and that's what we're getting. 2 minutes to go in this first quarter. The Patriots just, maybe just get it back to Noah Nordstrom. That's been a lot of their offense. But you got to, we got a lot of lengthy players for Benson, but you got to still get it into Lance Rucker. There's length, but then there's strength, and I'm going to take strength every time. If you can get him one-on-one in the post, I think Lance can really thrive there against these skinnier defenders for Benson.
And again, we talked about it all year long. Lance Rucker is just different. He's a football player compared to all these guys who are lanky. He is built like a truck. Again, you see it on the stat line. He's averaging 16 and 9 a game, almost a double-double. This is a guy who, if he makes an impact in this game, it'll be hard to stop him.
Yeah, and with the way the Patriots are playing right now, it seems like the second Lance gets involved, it's going to be really tough for the bunnies to defend him, because the second Lance gets involved, they're going to have to start throwing double teams, and the three-point shooting has been strong. Ben Bedreau a three. Bang! 11-3, they lead. Under 2 minutes to go in the first quarter. There's that three-point shooting we talked about from Ben Bedreau. 4 points for him on the night, and great defense for him there.
And Millard South, a team who has shot about 30% on the year from three-point land, and they're starting off really hot. Nice to see that.
Jarman swinging it to the corner at the top of the key here. Now a post entry. Haven't seen much of this yet tonight. Good defense from Austin Trotter. They call a foul late.
Foul to the Patriots.
It's going to be on Trotter. I didn't see much contact there. I wasn't sure. Maybe caught him with the arm.
It might have slapped him on the wrist when he's coming down, but again, I wouldn't have called that personally, but it looks like, again, they've been pretty consistent calling those so far. Already 6 fouls by either team in the first quarter.
And Benson just really struggling to shoot the ball early in this one. They've gotten some decent looks, but for the majority, they haven't been good. But here at the free throw line, they missed that first one. See if they can get back on track and knock this one down. They do. Cutting this lead down to 7. Full court press here. Gonna back off. Lance Rucker gonna set a screen. Look for Ben Bedreau going downhill. He decides not to take it. Here's Lance Rucker with it. Now Trotter in the post, a taller defender on him. Has Lance wide open down low. Great pass there from Dom Rice. The lob, and usually those are dunks for Lance, but a great pass there. He gets on the board. Great play call from Coach Lucien to get Lance involved. You know, they haven't been able to just get it to him in the post, so why not give him a few screens and get him going to the basket.
And he's the type of player where you base your entire offense around getting him the ball and getting him going.
Yeah, I mean, Benson so far has done a phenomenal job of just not letting him catch the ball, but in a situation like that, they might have to, with a defensive team like the Bunnies, draw some more plays up for him. They're very lengthy and really are kind of built, it seems like, to not stop big man, but kind of deflect them from getting the basketball. We're now under a minute as the Patriots lead 13-4. It's going to be Patriots ball. Lance Rucker will check back in.
Rucker back in.
You know, and right as they got the basket under the hoop on this inbound play, they check Lance in. You know, they like to set a lot of screens for him, get him going downhill once again. One thing that's not really talked about with Lance Rucker is he's a great passer from the big man position, and they utilize that a lot. They'll throw him at the top of the key sometimes, or even on these inbound plays, they'll just pop him out. Nordstrom been hot shooting. See if he takes a three here. He doesn't. Pedro with it. Nordstrom a three. Baseline cut. Knocks that one down. 16-4. And the Patriots have really stolen the momentum away in this first quarter. He's got 10, and the Patriots lead by 12. What a start for Noah Nordstrom.
I mean, Noah Nordstrom, legacy game right here. 10 points already in the first quarter. I mean, just striping it from three. That's what you want to see all game long for Millard South. And just, again, perfect first quarter.
Yeah, and he's doubled his average on the season. Taking it inside. Looks like it might have got tipped from Dom. Here comes Ben. 3 seconds left. Up to Dom Rice, all the way up the floor. Splash damage. The Patriots lead 18-4 at the end of the first, and what a start for the Patriots. Even you could just see it in them, the hustle there to get the ball all the way up to Rice, and damn, is he fast. I mean, he just really got off the court there. We're going into the second quarter. You know, Patriots off to a phenomenal start, but what do the Bunnies got to do? I asked you this in the girls' game, and they weren't able to get it done. So what do they do in this one?
I mean, first off, you got to be able to hit it from free throw. I mean, they've missed a couple of good looks from free throw. They've got to get to the line first off, and we've got to keep the ball clean. They've been turning the ball over left and right, and Millard South has been doing a really good job pressing them so far. And for Millard South, just got to keep doing the same. Again, they're averaging 50 points on the season per game. They already have 18 in this one. I mean, they're hitting it. They're hot from three-point. If you keep getting those good looks, it's going to be hard to beat them.
Yeah, great start for the Patriots. They lead 18-4 going into the second quarter. Want to do a quick moment for sponsorships. First off, we got Runza. Try Runza's BOT Junior wrap today. All the classic ingredients wrapped up to perfection. Grab one for a snack or a meal with crinkle cut fries and a drink. Runza makes it all better. Check out the Corner Kick, Millard's best sports bar, located just down the street at 138th and P. It offers Omaha's best fajitas, phenomenal street tacos, and a private party room. Locally owned by Millard residents who proudly support Millard South Athletics. And next time you want excellent food at a great price, visit the Corner Kick at 138th and P. The Corner Kick's got some great food, and we've seen some great offense with the Corner Kick in this one. Noah Nordstrom's been living from the three-point line early. Bunnies is a bad offensive performance in the first quarter. Got to get on track here before this one gets out of hand. And Dom Rice is playing very well. Forces a steal there, and here come the Patriots. Trotter with it now. Ben looking inside to Lance. He quickly gets double teamed. Nordstrom a three. Misses that one a little to the right.
But again, nice deal by Dom to really set up that drive. I mean, he's really been playing good in Bernie's absence. It's been a step-up mentality for every player on Millard South's roster. They haven't really been healthy any game this season, and Dom getting his first start on the year, he's really stepping up in his place.
And this is a game where really Dom can prove himself and maybe take that starting spot away. Dom Rice with it. Over to Nordstrom. You can tell Nordstrom really wants the ball. Bedreau, three-pointer, bang! 21-4. The Patriots lead in the best start all season for them. Bedreau's got 7.
I mean, you can see it from Benson's defense. Their main priority is stopping Lance inside, and that's giving up open looks at three-point land. And Nordstrom and Bedreau really making them pay early. They're going to have to change their defensive game plan.
Yeah, and at some points in the season, it seemed like Millard South has really just depended on Lance. But in this game, they're kind of shying away from that. You know, they see it's getting taken away, and they're playing smart with the basketball and utilizing him in the sense that he's taking up space down low, so why not keep it out on the perimeter and knock down shots. Also, just how fast they're playing. You know, when they get steals, Dom Rice is flying all over, and they're really pushing it in transition. Trotter and Lance check out. You know, with Lance out of the game, a little bit of a smaller lineup. Let's see if the Bunnies look to take advantage of that and get it down low. They kind of have the height advantage in this one. Just again, we haven't really seen much offense whatsoever. A three-pointer knocks that one down. But again, good defense for the Patriots overall. The Bunnies have knocked down some tough shots.
I mean, that was good defense, better offense. Hand in his face, but he still drained it. That's what you want to see if you're Benson. Just see a couple of them go through and it gets the team all fired up. That's all it takes.
Bedreau inside to Hessel. Just Bedreau moving so well without the basketball. Dom Rice trying to set some offense up. Bedreau, a 3. Bang! Another 3 for him. That's 3 in this first half. 24-7. 10 points for Bedreau. Bedreau and Nordstrom really putting on a show early in this one. And again, just really the only offense we've seen is that contested three-point shot. Finally get it in the post, taking advantage of Lance Rucker not being there, but Hessel stands him up, and they can't get that one to go. Bedreau bringing it up the floor. Good screen from Jack Hessel. He's going to set him another one. Three-pointer on a step back. He gets blocked.
Not the best shot attempt right there. He's feeling himself, seeing if he could make a little bit of contested shot off the dribble.
Yeah, I think he underestimated the length there. Nordstrom, the Euro. Looked like that one might have got tipped as well.
And that possession from Millard South, they're just trying to force things. You don't need to do that. Play your game, have good ball movement. You'll find open 3. They're just kind of trying to have a heat check moment or see if they can make a contested shot both those times.
Yeah, and this is a phenomenal start, to say the least, for the Patriots. You know, we haven't really seen them start a game off at home this year, even kind of leading going into the second half, and they're up 24-7.
But you can't get too confident. You got to stick with the game plan, stick with what got you here, because sooner or later, if you're too confident, you're feeling yourself, you can miss a couple shots, and then they come right back down and cut that lead.
Yeah, and a team like the Patriots not used to kind of just taking over games like this. You can't settle. You know, you gotta keep the pressure on, especially the Bunnies. You know, they're a team that's 5-11, much similar to your record, and you know, so they can definitely hang with you. But great start for the Patriots. Hessel with it. Bedreau, another 3, misses that one.
I mean, you're at the point with Bedreau, and when he misses, you're shocked. You know, I mean, the dude's been fire so far.
Yeah, and in the absence of Will Cooper, you know, getting early, he's really just stepped up as a three-point shooter and just a scorer for them in general. You know, prior to Cooper's injury, he was averaging about 12 points per game, so that was a major loss. But Lance and Bedreau have stepped up, bringing up their points per game averages by about 6 points each. It's going to be out of bounds, remaining with the Patriots. Rice checking back in. And, you know, one thing I've noticed, and when Rice is in, you know, this team is scoring the basketball. And that's because he's passing the ball well and driving lanes, setting up open teammates, and finding open shots for himself. Albert getting some minutes in this first half, something we haven't seen a lot of. Bedreau with it. Under 10 seconds on the shot clock. Now 5, 4, a step back 3, heat check, and misses that one. A little short. Good effort from Jack Hessel to chase that one down, but he's not able to save it.
And Coach Lucian is not happy. Again, they're going away from the offense a little bit, trying to force something themselves. Again, Bedreau with, again, like you said, a heat check. You can't do that at this point. You're going to give the ball right back to the Bunnies and have them get going. You're kind of just tempting them to come back in this game.
Yeah, you know, their offense has been a little stagnant, you know, and I think a big part of that is, you know, the absence of Lance Rucker in the last few minutes. You know, when he's not in there setting screens, you might not realize it if you're just watching the basketball, but he does so much in his off-ball presence. But the team in general just needs to move the ball a little bit better. And again, just not much offense for Benson. Dom Rice's spin move to free up some space. Over to Trotter. Haven't seen much from Trotter either in this game, but he's been Great moving the basketball around. Three-pointer for Albert. Knocks that one down, and they got a 20-point lead here for the Patriots. Tyler Albert knocks that one down.
And that's why you bring a guy like Albert in the game. He is dangerous from three. You've seen it in later game scenarios when he gets playing time. That's why you bring him in early to kind of get that spark from three-point land.
And another steal from Ben Bedreau. That's been a strong suit for him all season. That one goes out of bounds.
And we talked about it pregame. One of Benson's keys to the game, along with Millard South, is just to keep control of the ball. You know, don't be loose with it. Don't turn the ball over. And having guards like Bedreau and Dom Rice constantly getting at the ball and getting steals, that's not going to be a good look for Benson. They need to get that under control.
Here's Nordstrom with it. Bedreau with it again. You know, he's been quick to go to that three-point shot all night long, and that's something you definitely want to see from the Patriots. Jack Hessel putting his head down and going to the rim.
Oh.
That one rolled around the rim for a little bit. Looked like it was going to be an and one, but a strong take there from Jack Hessel.
Just a nice move to get the pump fake and get inside. And Hessel's a guy who can get to the line pretty regularly when he gets playing time.
Here comes the first attempt for Hessel. He knocks that one down.
Hessel makes the first.
Again, Lance Rucker still hasn't checked in about 3 minutes. And really, if you're Millard South, I mean, you have nothing really to lose. You can keep him out and see if you can figure out things offensively with him out of the game.
Hessel knocks both free throws down, and they extend that lead to 22. And, you know, this is where Benson, if they don't want this one to get too out of hand and still want a chance to come back in this game, they need to do stuff like that. They need to score a lot more going into this second half to gain some momentum.
And that move was all hard. I mean, he just came down, took it himself, and made a nice move and put the ball up, and they went in.
You know, and that's going to work sometimes, but, you know, it's been a lot of one-man show. We said this with the girls' team as well for Benson. You know, they got to get their team involved and move without the basketball. Nordstrom thought about a three, now taking it inside. Kick out to Trotter, three-pointer. Misses that one strong, but a good rebound by the 6-foot point guard, Ben Bedreau. One of the smallest players out there, but he grabs the rebound.
And we talked about it. We really wanted them to control the rebounding, and they have all game long. I mean, you look at Benson, they got some guys who are pretty lanky, pretty tall, and Millard South's done a great job. They've out-rebounded them so far in this game pretty substantially, and that's the reason why the lead is what it is.
A long three-pointer for Benson, and again, just not great sock selection. And here comes Bedreau. Over to Trotter. Not a lot of offense from Trotter in this first half. Dom taking it inside, trying to find a teammate for help. He does. He finds Bedreau. Corner three. Bang! 34-9, they lead. It's like we said earlier, corner kicks got some good food, but it's certainly helping the Patriots on offense, making a lot of threes in that corner.
Corner kick official three-point sponsor of Millard South Media.
Good high ball screen there from Hessel to free up some space for Bedreau. Bedreau, really one of the best ball handlers I've ever seen come through Millard South. You know, defenders all over him, it doesn't matter. Dom Rice thought about a three, the shot fake, now taking it inside. Trying to find some open space, he doesn't. We got 6 seconds left in the shot clock. Bedreau, a long three, too strong. You know, and late, they've had a lot of late possessions in this one. I guess you'd want Bedreau go into the three-point line, and thought we were going to get a charge there.
Yeah, that was a no call right there. That was a clear charge. If he were planted, he just went over him.
And somehow the Patriots come up with it there. Looked like Benson was trying to throw it off their foot, and that's going to be a foul there.
Foul.
So a 34-9 lead, and you know, Benson, I would think at least got to get over 10 points going into the second half. A team that's averaging 50, they're on pace for 20 tonight.
I mean, just an excellent defensive performance here by Millard South. This is the lowest Benson's scored in the first half all season long. And like you talked about, I mean, really, they need to find answers.
Yeah, and it's been great defense, but, you know, really it just doesn't seem like Benson has even been trying to set up much offense. It's been a lot of just put your head down and dribble. And then they've made some contested threes, but that's been about it. Bedreau taking it inside. He lost the handle of it and then caught it. I mean, that was crazy.
Charge to Bunnies.
So he'll go to the line.
But Dylan, yeah, we've talked about it. I mean, just a perfect half so far for Millard South. And this is exactly how Coach Lucian scripted it up.
Yeah, and that's been a struggle for the Patriots. Executing in games. But they're doing a lot better, and this is really one of those teams in Class A that you just don't want to match up against in the districts or possibly even in the state tournament because their record isn't the best, 4-11. But if you watch these games, like we said earlier, losing games by an average of 2.9 points per game, I mean they really can hang with anybody.
And not to mention, they haven't been healthy all year. We have yet to see a fully healthy Millard South team. I mean, imagine how good they'll be when they get everybody back, especially Will Cooper inside.
Hooks that one up with 1 second left. He misses that one. Nordstrom gets the rebound, and the Patriots lead 36-9. I earlier we were saying what a start, but now I'm saying what a half. Usually with these hot starts for the Patriots, typically they don't even happen, but they usually slow down, and it really didn't. 36-9 lead for them. I asked you this going into the second, and nothing really changed. So I mean, just reiterate, what do the Bunnies got to do?
The Bunnies got to find something offensively. Get 9 points. They haven't found anything. They've been sloppy with the ball. Again, their biggest key to the game was keep the ball under control, and they haven't done that. Millard South's really been forcing them to be able to do anything, and really it's just been a one-team show all game long. Millard South needs to do more of the same. I mean, they've been dominating this game in the interior. Lance Rucker having a huge impact. Nobody can match up with him, and really you got to find something inside if you're the Bunnies. You have 2 guys who are 6'5", lanky. I mean, get them going. They've had some good looks inside. They just haven't been able to convert.
Yeah, got to be better on the offensive end if you're the Bunnies, and certainly on the defensive end. The Patriots aren't typically throwing 36.5, but got to give them credit. They've been moving well without the basketball. The Patriots lead 36-9. We'll be right back with you after the short break.
That's why Larry Ribble the GOAT.
Graphic up right now.
Please don't.
So word for our Millard South Media team. In March, Millard South Media will be traveling to Lincoln to cover the NSAA State Basketball Tournament. The expenses of the trip are slightly more than we can afford, so if you're interested in helping us out, you can visit the link in our description to donate. Thank you for supporting the students of Millard South Media. Also, if you are interested, check out our new Fortnite tutorial on Instagram, Millard South Media.
Take a quick moment to thank some sponsors. First, we got Runza. Say bonjour to Runza's French onion burger, grilled to perfection and topped with Swiss cheese, sauteed onions, and creamy French onion dip. Stop by for one today. Runza makes it all better. Check out the Corner Kick, Millard's best sports bar, located just down the street at 138th and P. It offers Omaha's best fajitas, phenomenal street tacos, and a private party room. Locally owned by Millard residents who proudly support Millard South Athletics. Next time you want excellent food at a great price, visit the Corner Kick at 130th and P. Starkey Auto Repair, the key to all your auto repair needs. In March, Millard South Media will be traveling to Lincoln to cover the NSAA State Basketball Tournament. The expenses of the trip are slightly more than we can afford. If you are interested in helping us out, you can visit the link in our description to donate. Thank you for supporting the students of Millard South Media.
Please.
Also, another way is to head over to GoFundMe and just type in Millard South Media. We'll come right up. So a 36-9 lead going into the second half for the Patriots. Really just a phenomenal start, something we haven't seen this season. Can't say I'm not a little bit shocked. You know, Patriots have been notorious for some slow starts, but what a performance so far. Really all players on this Patriots team showing out, especially Ben Boudreau and Noah Nordstrom. You know, Lance hasn't had a lot of points tonight, but he's really been making an impact.
Lance is that type of guy where he doesn't even need to touch the ball and he'll make an impact on the game with his presence.
So we got a 3-second violation there on Lance. But yeah, he's been playing phenomenal, just taking up space down low and passing the basketball.
And again, both teams kind of struggling on the year, both with under 500 records. We kind of thought it was going to be a close game. Millard South really showing why they aren't worth what the record shows. They're one of the better teams in Class A regardless of that.
Yeah, and we talked about going in the second half how Benson really needs to take advantage of the length they have. I mean, we haven't seen really anything inside from the bigger players, or lengthier players, I should say, of Benson. I mean, I'm not sure why they're not going to that. Even if you don't have a dominant post presence, you know, just get it down there to them. With the length advantage they have, they should be able to just go right over the top against these Patriots players. Dom,
oh my goodness,
getting hacked down low. Thought it might have been a jump, but, you know, they had to go through his arm to get there. This Newson's third foul. Not something you want to see from their leading scorer.
Yeah, Benson just really needs to go offensively. They've really tried to get going with the guards, and that hasn't worked out. You guys have one of the taller teams in Class A with those big guys in the paint. You need to get them going. And Millard South, I mean, one of their biggest flaws all year, they haven't really been able to defend some of the taller players that we played against Pius a couple weeks ago. They had a guy who was 6'10", really struggled against him. I mean, these are guys who really could take advantage of the game if they try, and they haven't got the ball to them.
Nordstrom driving baseline, trying to find Dom Rice. He can't get it to him. It's going to be a turnover. But overall, he's been playing great tonight. Driving inside, and that's going to be a charge. Great job there from Ben Boudreau, just doing it all. We also want to take a quick moment to say our prayers for Brock Murtaugh. You know, he's been struggling, been pretty sick these past few days. That's why he's not on the mic tonight. But we do got Wilson Dittman, who's stepping in for him tonight. Has done a phenomenal job so far. You know, feel free to comment below your thoughts on his performance.
We're wishing Brock Murtaugh well. He'll be back on the mic hopefully on Friday. One of the better announcers in Millard South history. And we know he's listening, and we hope he will be okay.
And speak of that, here's a bang for Brock Murtaugh. Bang for Noah Nordstrom. 39-11, they lead, and Nordstrom has just had himself a great game. Again, averaging 5 points per game, but he's well over 10 now. And he's been playing great defense, too, which is something he's done all season, but just pointed out tonight, really the defense from the Bunnies has been great.
I mean, him and Dom Rice has been feisty, trying to swipe at that ball. And, oh, my goodness, nice shot there for three from Benson. That's what they need to start get going.
Trotter with it now over to Ben Boudreau, the do-it-all player for the Patriots. And here's Lance Rucker in the post. Ooh. Looked like he was going to go up for a dunk there, but he decides to lay it up, and that's what we talked about. You know, he's only got 4 points on the night, but when he gets going downhill.
I mean, he almost went on SportsCenter there with that dunk, but again, just lays it up. But yeah, again, the guy who can just impact the game no matter what he's doing.
Dom gets tripped up driving inside.
And if you're Millard South, you don't want to force anything. You're up 27 points with 5 minutes left to go in the third. I mean, really, if you keep doing what you're doing, run the clock, find a good look, don't force anything, drain the clock, it's going to be really hard for Benson to come back, even if they start hitting offensively.
Noah Nordstrom with it now at the top of the key. Ben Boudreau misses that one. Here come the Bunnies.
Another good look there. They've been getting those corner threes all game long. Boudreau just a little too short there, but he'll take that every single time.
Three-pointer there. Misses that one short. And still, we're well far into this game, and we still have just not seen any offense.
Wow. Thought that might have been a foul. Kind of pushed Rucker out of bounds, but nope, it's going to go with the Bunnies there.
They're going to be out of bounds on Rucker. 41-14 they lead, and you know, we still just haven't seen any offense. I mean, these 14 points are really, I don't want to say lucky shots, but just kind of contested threes, a few mislaps from the Patriots leading to layups. We haven't really seen any true offense. I mean, look at them right now, just stagnant. No one is moving on the offensive end.
And largely, we don't want to come at anybody, but that goes on coaching. You know, you haven't really done any plays, haven't really changed anything up defensively. I mean, they're playing with little passion right now against a team, Millard South, that's really amped up, and they're playing with a bunch of passion. That's why the scoreboard is what it is.
Yeah, and I mean, Benson has some talent out on there on the floor. It just doesn't seem like it's been utilized in this game. Isaac trying to get it to Lance down low. Going to be a foul.
His first, 4th team foul.
Fans getting back into it.
Lance Rucker catches that one high post. Boudreau, a 3 off the little handoff, and he knocks that one down.
Point basket, then Boudreau.
Boudreau already with 20 in this one. I mean, one of the best games of the season for him. And again, when he's going from 3, I mean, he is one of the better point guards in Class A.
So he'll go to the line.
Down nice, whistle for that foul.
Parents been getting involved tonight. Not sure if you guys can hear it on the mics, but both sides were chirping a lot early in the girls' game.
Yeah, it's getting a little chippy. I hope there's not any, again, fights after it. Hasn't really been a chippy game, but both fan bases have been going after each other.
Knocks that free throw down. The Bunnies are finally approaching 20 points. You know, they just really struggled, and again, it kind of seems like it's going on coaching. You know, they kind of just. Isaac in the corner, 3-pointer, misses that one. Lance goes up for it, and oh my, thought he was gonna dunk that one. Here's Ben going inside. Thought he might throw the lob there, but he decides to take it himself. That's 22 for Boudreau. Heart kind of stopped there as Lance went up for that one. Good thing Brock wasn't here, because we've seen he can't control his language at sometimes. So.
I mean, the table might have been flipped if he saw that one.
I mean, he might have not even hopped back on stream after that.
Once again, another shout out to Brock Murdaugh, legendary football player and basketball player and broadcaster.
He makes the first. Tyler Albert in for the Patriots.
Tyler Albert checking in. We saw him knock down a 3 earlier, but haven't seen him really in this game since. But a big lead here for the Patriots. Great chance to get him some minutes. You know, I wonder if we'll see Lincoln Cohen check in. You know, hasn't got a lot of minutes or really even a chance to prove himself this season. So, I mean, if he can check in, I feel like against a team like this, he can really prove himself, start earning some more minutes.
I mean, Lincoln, one of the better players, if not the best player on Millard South roster. They can get him going.
I agree. I mean, in games he's played, he's averaging about a bucket every possession. So 46-18, they lead. It certainly would be a bigger lead if Lincoln was in, but, you know, it hasn't been the case. Not sure what Lucian's doing. But here's Ben Boudreau all the way at the top, getting it to Lance Rucker out on a 3-pointer. Would love to see him shoot that shot. Tried to get it. Looked like Lance was going to keep going. Here comes Noah Nordstrom. Had a great offense. Can he get it done on the defensive end? Tried to block it from behind, but wasn't able to. And Benson finally gets 20 points. They're down by 26. Boudreau taking inside. Bigger defender on him, but kind of just lost control in the air. And now we see a few transition plays for Benson.
A little bit of a spark here for Benson. They've been lining up a little recently. It looks like the lead will be a little too much for them to come back, but it doesn't hurt to come back right now and see if you can make something happen. And have to travel all the way through.
Yeah, and again, just nothing really getting going on the offense. I mean, you know, just compared to the Patriots, you know, we see a lot of screens, off-ball screens, just overall ball movement, and we haven't seen much of that. See a little bit of a press here from Benson, which might be necessary if they want to get back in this game. They got to start forcing some turnovers. They're going to back off, though. Nordstrom, surprised he didn't take that 3 there. Trying to find Lance inside, he does. One-on-one. He's definitely going to take this one. Going inside and makes that defender look like a baby. As he's got this lead up to 28.
I mean, just give it to Rucker in the post and let him do the rest. And oh my goodness.
Yeah, they got to keep getting him the ball. I mean, every time he gets it, he's scoring the basketball. especially in the second half. You know, they haven't been bringing those double teams.
Nice move there by Nordstrom.
Surprised he doesn't take that three there. You know, he's had a great game so far. Rice taking it inside. Trying to find Lance. He does down low. They don't bring the double team. Lance goes inside. 2 defenders on him. Floats that one over the top.
Not much you can do when Lance gets inside. Doesn't matter how tall the defender is. He's going to make it happen.
Yeah, and Lance pointed back at him, said, "You can't guard me." And, I mean, truly, he can't. 50-20. It's now up to a 30-point lead. Just keep feeding it to Lance. Keep extending this lead. Under 2 minutes to go in the third. Patriots up by 30. And then Lance recovers the steal there. Dom Rice taking it inside. A strong take there, and he gets fouled. He'll go to the line for 2. Jack Hessel to check in. Hopefully not going in for Lance. I want to see more of this. He's really been taking over these last few possessions.
Dom Rice shooting 2. Rice takes the first. Jack Hessel.
Shooter's touch on that free throw right there. They really need to get those free throws to get going more consistently this season. They're shooting about 70% from the stripe. And if they can get that up to 80 or 90, that's really going to benefit them, especially in the close games in which they've lost. Kind of one of those reasons why is they haven't been able to convert chances from the free throw line.
You know, and it kind of seems like the Patriots really found themselves in this game. You know, they've been struggling with all the injuries. But, you know, in this one, they really found their offense. And in the absence of Will Cooper and Bernie Anderson, they've strived in this one.
I mean, you talk about a spark game. Sometimes it just takes one game to go on a winning streak. This is the game you look back to. And especially with Will Cooper coming back and Bernie's going to play the next game.
Three-pointer there, a lot of contact, but he misses that one. Hessel with it.
Fans are going at it right now. Might have to, Millard South might have to send a person to get involved here, calm things down.
Foul. Charge to the Patriots, number 3, Dom Rice.
It's been that way all game. Kind of just the fans been chirping at each other, taking their anger out on the court. Now they're taking their anger out on the coaching staff, on one of the parents for Benson.
German at the line.
You know, and I somewhat agree with him. You know, the coaching hasn't seemed to be the best. I mean, who knows? Maybe the players aren't executing, but there really has been just no offense. So good job speaking out.
I don't think that's what he's talking about.
Oh.
Put Lincoln in!
Here comes the second attempt, trying to cut this lead down to 29, and he doesn't do so.
Patriot ball.
Goes out of bounds there. It'll be Patriot basketball.
And if you're Millard South now trying to run out the clock here in the third quarter, put in all the reserves, going to the fourth, I mean, pretty much an insurmountable lead. Get some experience to the younger guys.
And maybe these younger guys can bring something to the table on the offensive end because just nothing's been there all night. Now it looks like we got the parent trying to take his son off the court.
Just an incredible scene here at Millard South. Might need to get a reporter on the scene. We have security. My goodness. And it's they're distracting some of the guys on the court.
Yeah, I mean, they're trying to stay focused, but it's kind of hard when you got parents screaming.
Air ball.
It's a bad shot there, and that's kind of been the story of tonight. You know, we got 2 seconds left in this third quarter. See if Dom Rice can either get it up the floor or check up a shot here. You know, and that's a first for me. I've never seen a parent try and take their son off the floor. Dom Rice gets a good look.
Ooh.
And that one was close. That's not a bad look for 2 seconds up on the clock. 51-21, they lead. And, you know, like you said, for Benson, it's probably an insurmountable lead here. But, you know, it's not always about coming back. Sometimes you just got to get your spirits back going into that next game because, you know, they just look demoralized right now. And you got to start finding some offense. But
yeah, we talk about Benson again. We talked about all game. They're such a talented team. I mean, they can make a run if they really figure it out offensively. I mean, they did a good job, decently a good job against the Patriots. Gave up too many open looks, but they did a good job on defense. Really just couldn't. The story of the game was they couldn't find anything offensively. As for the Patriots, I mean, this again, we talked about it. This is a spark win for them. I mean, this is a game you look back to that starts a winning streak. That really gives confidence to everybody on the starting rotation.
Yeah, you know, making a team like the Benson play, you know, they haven't had a good offensive performance, but, you know, this can really do wonders for the Patriots. You know, they're on a 2-game losing streak. Heading towards the end of the season, they need to win out to try and get some better seeding in district play and make a run at the state tournament. 51-21 at the start of the fourth. I want to thank some sponsorships real quick. First, we got Starkey Auto Repair, the key to all your auto repair needs. We also want to shout out our GoFundMe. In March, Millard South will be traveling to Lincoln to cover the NSA State Basketball Tournament. The expenses of the trip are slightly more than we can afford. If you are interested in helping us out, you can visit the link in our description to donate. Thank you for supporting the students of Millard South. Again, that money is going to help us bring those Class A state basketball games to you for the Patriots and for just all the other teams. Lance Rucker inside and finishes that one over too. And they just don't have an answer for Rucker. He's at 10 points now. Be a foul on Dom Rice.
And at some point, the refs just got to let him play. I mean, 30-point lead, 7 minutes left to go. At this point, that should have been a no call. Let the clock run.
We got Benson trying to find something on the offensive end.
Jarman scoring.
53-24 now. Benson trying to chip away again. Maybe not going to get back in this game, but if they can at least.
And I'm surprised Coach Lucian's keeping in the starters this long. At some point, you got to dig into the bench. Same thing that happened in the girls' game.
It's getting a little bit heated here. Looks like Trot's going to have to sub out. The ref's going to sub Trot out.
And we want to thank our donations here on the GoFundMe page. We got Christian Jensen, $25, and Darren Jensen, $50. So thank you very much for supporting Millard South Media.
Yeah, thank you. Again, that money is going to be used to help us bring those state basketball games to you guys. And it's really just going to help us out.
Foul on the bunnies. Noah Faya, his third, 17 foul. Shooting.
We're now going to be in the 1-1, so not a good sight for Benson.
That's going to be a timeout on Millard South. 7 minutes left to go. Up 29 against Benson.
You know, Lucian, I think calling that timeout's kind of calm his guys down. You know, it's been getting a little heated past few minutes, and I mean, for Benson, you know, when you're down this big, it's kind of hard to keep those emotions in check. But just what a game, you know, going back to the Patriots playing amazing. You know, what is something you've seen from them in this game that you just haven't seen in those other games?
I mean, just the three-point shooting, especially just from the tip-off. They're a team that's, again, struggled all year, about 30% from the line, or from the stripe, three-point stripe. And, again, Bedreau, you got Nordstrom getting going early, and that just gave confidence to the entire team. And when they're hitting from three, as you saw today, they're hard to beat. And they've had those looks all year long in the corners specifically, and they just haven't been able to knock them down, and they did it today.
Yeah, and really just jumping out to this lead. I mean, it's been getting their whole team involved. You know, we've seen Dom Rice playing phenomenal, and especially Noah Nordstrom. It's those players that don't usually score. If those guys get going, and then if you also have the scoring from Ben Bedreau, who's over 20, Lance, who's over 10 now, I mean, this team is really hard to beat. And again, on paper, you know, they don't look like the greatest team in the world, but again, it's just not a team I would want to play, especially approaching the end of the season when everyone's trying to get these wins piled up. to get better seeding in these tournaments.
I mean, it's similar to the football team sitting at 5-4 going into the postseason. I mean, the record doesn't show the whole story. I mean, they dealt with injuries just like this basketball team has, and they dealt with some other things going on. And my goodness, what a block there by Lance Rucker. But again, you don't want to play this team in March. They've been able to make runs in the past. And again, we've yet to see him healthy.
Albert fakes a three, now taking it inside, and he gets it blocked, but it's going to be a foul. Lance was screaming for the ball after that block. He wants more touches. Frankly, I'd love to see it. Albert to the line. This will be a shooting foul. Mama Rucker says not today there. Lance Rucker, what a block.
Again, Coach Lucian not putting in the reserves yet. You got to get Lincoln some playing time, as we talked about. Once he gets in, you got about a 30-point lead now. I expect that to go up to 40, maybe even 50 once he gets in.
He's really one of those X-factor players for this Patriots team. And come tournament time, he's going to make a big difference. You know, his minutes are a little bit limited right now. Now taking it inside, trying to find some offense. Hasn't been there all night. Good tip there from Dom Rice. He's been great on the defensive end. Patriots in a man here. And it's worked very well for them. You know, the shots just haven't been there. And that's going to be a foul there.
Dom Rice was up for the foul.
But we'll give it to the Benson parents. They've chilled out a little bit in this second half.
If I were them, I'd be pretty angry too with the way the refs have been calling this one. I mean, let the game run out right now. But I don't think they're mad at the refs. I think.
Yeah, I mean, they're just. And we got Lincoln and Cohen checking in.
Crowd is on their feet here in Millard South.
Checking in for the Patriots, number 2, Lincoln.
That's why he's the GOAT. Lincoln checking in here.
And just a standing ovation from the crowd.
I love you, Lincoln!
The booth here on their feet.
And Lincoln and Cohen checking in the game. Has got a way smaller defender on him. Look for him to take it to the basket here. He's got it now. Good pass inside to Rucker. That one gets tipped away. Swinging over to Nordstrom. Three-pointer. Bang that! Three-pointer from Noah Nordstrom. They lead 60-26.
Look at what happens when Lincoln goes in.
And, yeah, I mean, like my guy next to me just said it. Look at what happens when Lincoln goes in. The whole dynamic of this team really changes. Good defense there.
Great defense by Lincoln.
Somebody next to me is really fired up about Lincoln's play, and I'm all about it. Lance Rucker, a good screen there. Getting it over to Lincoln. Lincoln taking it inside. Two defenders on him.
They just hacked it.
And they smack him in the face.
Oh, yeah, Lincoln!
I mean, that was uncalled for, and he's going to get some line.
Let's go, Lincoln!
One of the best, if not the best free throw shooters on this team.
Getting a little chippy, and you know, one guy I wouldn't want to smack in the face is Lincoln and Cohen. So, you know, I don't know if you guys have ever seen the John Wick movies, but Keanu Reeves is just a bad guy, and I would compare Lincoln to Keanu Reeves. You know, it's just someone you don't want to mess with. New John Wick movie coming out soon. I'm pretty excited.
Go, Lincoln!
First one in for Lincoln, second one on the way. And, of course, it's in.
Lincoln knocks that one down. And I think I'm hearing some MVP chants from the crowd for Lincoln and Cohen. I think, is that the MVP chants?
I hear that too.
I think it's faint, but I think I'm hearing the MVP chants. Dom Rice checking in.
I mean, we talked about it all game. Once he gets in the game, the whole dynamics changed. You know, they were up only about 20. I mean, about 32 when he comes in. They're already bumped that lead up. I mean, that's not a surprise when you get a guy like him in.
Man, you know, some of you guys listening, you know, you might have thought we were joking, but you know, I mean, this is proving it right now. I mean, me and Wilson have said this all game long. Lincoln is him, and he's proving it right now.
I mean, we talked about how you try to get your offense around Lance, but really, when Lincoln's in, you get the offense around around Lincoln.
Yeah, I agree completely. And, you know, they've done that. Lincoln's getting touches on every possession, and they've also scored on every possession. That's just what Lincoln does. Now Dom bringing it up the floor.
And shout out to a new donor, Taylor Mendenhall, Mr. Mendenhall, also known as Mendy. Shout out $20 on the GoFundMe to get us to state.
We're nearing our goal, so thank you guys so much for supporting. You know, a lot of us seniors on this crew. Wilson's got another year, but, you know, a lot of us seniors, so we really want to make and just bring the best overall content we can to you guys on state basketball. Trevor Albert, a long one, misses that one strong. But Lincoln, a great box out there, setting up the rebound for Jack Hessel. Questionable call there.
Looked like it was a no call. Or no travel. Okay.
Call it travel.
Again, the refs aren't shy to blow their whistle right now. And a lot of fans just kind of want the clock to keep running.
We want to give a quick shout out to Dina and Darren Jensen. You know, they were one of our first people to donate on our GoFundMe, and, you know, we really appreciate it. 62-27. Didn't think I'd be saying that, but, you know, Patriots, great game here tonight. And again, I'm not surprised Lincoln subbed in this game, so obviously we're going to win. Dom Rice taking it inside on the taller defender and hits his head hard.
That's a no call. He's a little shaken up. He kind of hit the ground hard right there.
Looked like he went straight up, but then he kind of caught him with the body at the end, forcing him back. Great defense from Lincoln. Kind of gets caught up behind the screen. Some good claps there from Lincoln to Cohen, really getting his teammates going. Crosses him up. He's blowed by two defenders. I mean, essentially no one can guard him. He was wide open on that cut there. They missed him. Jack Hessel inside.
They're not being Lincoln.
Lincoln,
There you go.
a three-pointer! Bang! Lincoln to Cohen! Bang! Lincoln! A three-pointer for Lincoln to Cohen. And I hear the MVP chants. MVP! The MVP chants are coming. Lincoln to Cohen, what a three-point shot there. Now Albert driving inside. Over to Hessel. Now over to Lincoln again. Going inside.
What a
Great pass from
dime.
Lincoln. Oh, and he misses it. We
just-
got to see Lincoln take that shot there. I was ready for another bang.
But what a dime did he get to Hessel. Hessel just blew it.
Three-pointer here for Benson. Misses that one. He thought he was Lincoln, but he's not. Here comes Lincoln to Cohen.
It looks like Benson's taking a time. Oh,
30-second timeout.
What?
they're a little too,
Patriots
you know,
taking the
crowd was too amped up after that three from Lincoln.
Kobe Miners checking in, number 20.
What was it called? Oh, we're just doing
Yeah, they're
subs.
just, yeah, they're subs.
Tom Dugan,
Yep, the bench is cleared here from Millard
And
South.
I don't know if you guys can see on the camera. Maybe we can zoom in. But, you know, look at that mullet for Dom. Dom Dugan's mullet is just, I mean, killer. And he's wide open in the post. Great no-look pass from Lincoln. Trevor Albert with it. Mid-range pull-up.
Oh, my.
Bang that! Albert with the mid-range pull-up. He's got 7 on the night. You know, we haven't seen touches on these last few possessions from Lincoln to Cohen. Great defense there from Lincoln. The
Beautiful.
defense is too good.
Beautiful defense.
I mean,
Oh.
nobody could score on Lincoln or just essentially do anything.
I mean, you see it on the offensive end. So much. They're doubling him on the offense. The reason why he hasn't touched the ball.
Mr. 18 foul. Clock will continue to run because of the 40-point rule.
Clock's going to continue to run, but I can guarantee you Lincoln's not going to let up.
And he's not getting out either. He's playing the rest of this way. And again, they're up by about 40 right now. I expect that to be 50 by the time this is over.
Yeah, I mean, if Lincoln keeps getting touches, I mean, that's almost guaranteed. I mean, I'm selling my house and betting on it. I mean, I'm 17, so I don't have a house. But if I had a house, I'm selling my house and putting it all on Lincoln, dropping 20. Isaac thought he was going to get a rebound there. Now we got the girls' coach's son in the game. Isaac driving inside, small defender
Oh,
on
my.
him, and he babied him right there. 69-28, Jensen's first points on the night. Lincoln, great defense. And that's great defense, but that's a good shot. Great defense, though, from Lincoln to Cohen. You know, sometimes you're going to let up some points. That's fine.
Oh, just crossed him. Just crossed him up at
And
midcourt.
Lincoln just crossed him up. Wow, Lincoln to Cohen is just a dog.
And you see his ankles. I mean, his ankle got a little tweaked
I think
after
his
he
ankle's
crossed
still on
him
the
so
floor
much.
right there. Inside. No, sir. Great defense there. And they're going to call a foul, which is not good for Lincoln dropping 20 because the clock is going to continue to run.
They got to inbound this quick.
Unfortunately, it's going to be the 1-and-1. So they are going to
Oh,
shoot
my
free
goodness.
throws. So we need to hurry up this free throw routine so Lincoln can get the ball back again.
I mean, do you think this is just an attempt by Benson to not get Lincoln the ball? I mean, that's what I'm thinking.
I think it is an attempt to not let Lincoln have the basketball. I mean,
they know what can happen.
I mean, personally, like, I'm scared for Lincoln to get the ball again because I just know it's.
I mean, it erupted
Something's
here the
coming.
first time. The second time it's going to happen. I mean, there might be people on the court when he hits another three. And wow, I mean, Benson's just not letting him take this. They're letting the clock run. I've never seen this before. They just don't want Lincoln to get another chance.
Misses that free throw.
And the crowd, they're not very happy about this. They wanted
Lincoln out of the ball. We heard those MVP chants from him.
We did hear them.
With 1
And the
second
crowd
left,
going
he knocks
crazy
that one down.
for Lincoln.
70-30 with 1 second left. The Patriots win. And by far, you know who the MVP going to. Lincoln of Cohen. What a performance in those last few minutes. The Patriots win 70-30. This is Dylan Schiesler and Wilson Dittman signing off.